As you may be aware, I am doing a lot of study on the life of Maria Valtorta at the moment. I have been studying her book, The Gospel as Revealed to Me, or the old title, The Poem of the Man God, for a while, studying it in its original Italian, with the help of many people from Italy, a great team. And one person that has been helping me a lot is this priest called Don Ernesto Zucchini. He is he has written books, published two books, one which is translated into English and another one which is in Italian. So I've been reading these two books, bouncing stuff off him. And one thing that he said to me on a phone call, he says, "Robert, use my work. Quote my work. You are free to quote it." So I'm taking him at his word on that. And I do think there's this kind of an urgency to make known the works of Maria Valtorta. There's this urgency. The world needs to know about this mystic. However, one thing that in reading about Maria Valtorta, he is also connecting her to Luisa Picaretta. And other people are then connecting this also to another Italian mystic, Padre Pio. Now, some people forget that Padre Pio has a wealth of literature left. We have a wealth of documents from Padre Pio about his life, about his journey to union with God. And we also have a wealth of documentation of writings from Luisa Picaretta, from Maria Valtorta, from Padre Pio, Italian mystics which seem to be very tied together. And I suppose I have to be kind of step back and see there's a lot of connection here. Or I am no expert on Luisa Picaretta. I don't understand her spirituality. I think people know my position on this. I don't know where to I don't know where to even start with Luisa Picaretta. Some people are very pro her, other people are not. It's kind of divided the church in this way. But with Don Ernesto kind of throwing Luisa Picaretta into his studies with Maria Valtorta, I have to ask the question, are we missing something are we missing the dots here? What is heaven doing with these mystics all at the same time? For me, Maria Valtorta is very easy to read. Her mission is very easy to understand and to verify. So Liberato da Caro, that Italian scientist, he has written 4 books detailing how scientifically we can prove the writings of Maria Valtorta. It's not just a novel. It's not just her imagination. There's a wealth of science. And this is what's actually drawing people back to Maria Valtorta now, is the science. Oh, how could she have known all of that? It's simply impossible for a woman to write what Maria Valtorta wrote. We know this now. It's simply impossible. Humanly impossible. And so we have to we examine Maria Valtorta, but then we look at the life of Luisa Picaretta. This woman lived off the Eucharist for many years. There's also signs there, so maybe the dots need to be connected more, and we need to look at Luisa Picaretta, Maria Valtorta, Padre Pio, Martha Robin maybe. Put them all together, because this is what Ernesto Zucchini seems to be pointing us at in his books. His second book is very, very good. It's not translated into Italian yet, but I do hopefully we'll get it in there soon. And Liberato da Caro's books, he's got 4 volumes on his research. I'm hoping to interview him next Friday, and hopefully try and get some interviews, some of these interviews translated, or get more of his work translated. But we just can't sit back and ignore this now, guys. This is the message I'm saying to people. I think urgently, as Catholics, we need to put all of these works side by side and ask the question, what is heaven giving us here? We are missing something maybe here. Some people are experts on Luisa Picaretta. I'm not. I admit I know very little about her. I know a lot about Maria Valtorta. I've spent hours and hours and hours going over her work, talking to other people, going over the scientific side. Um, and my thesis is, this is my thesis. My thesis is the world needs this important aspect of our faith, which David Torkington is talking about, which Jan Correa is talking about, Apostoli Via in the States, Dan Burke is talking about. We're referencing the Carmelite saints, Teresa of Avila, John of the Cross, Teresa of Lisieux. What is all of this calling us to? Union with God. Union with God. We are called to be as Christ, as St. Peter says, we are called to say, it's no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. This new life in Christ. Maybe this is what Luisa Picaretta is trying to point us at. To live in the divine will. Maybe we're just not understanding it. Maybe we're missing it. Maybe it is this seventh mansion of Saint Teresa of Avila. If you read Luisa Picaretta or Maria Valtorta, I mean, their writings are what, 30, 40 years apart, some of their writings, but it seems to be pointing us in the same direction. That's my thesis. I'd like to know what other people's are. I'd like to know what people that are critical of Luisa Picaretta, what you think about this. But if we step back and look at the writings of Padre Pio, Maria Valtorta, Luisa Picaretta, and these others, it all seems to be pointing us in the one direction. Theosis, deification, union with God. Is there any other way of living this Catholic faith? Can somebody tell us? You know, Teresa of Avila is talking about it, John the Cross. This is the gift. I'd like to know what other people think. But I think if you connect all of these together, maybe it's like a big picture that we need to look at. Anyway, God bless you. Take care. Bye bye.